Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's April 17th of 2021. It's about 2:30 p.m. I just saw on CNN's website that two aircraft, U.S. military fighters, flew over the White House during the White House press conference. And, I guess it's kind of unusual. They don't do that. But the reason they flew over was because they are establishing the United States World War One memorial in Washington, D.C. But since, I don't know if it was 1917 or since the end of World War One, there has been a United States World War One memorial, and it's been located in my old hometown of Kansas City, Missouri, and I went to it many times. After I would march in the Veterans Day parade, which would go through there, around there, or whatever, I would often pop in, maybe not all 4 years, but pop into the World War One memorial in Kansas City, Missouri. I come from a state that raises corn and cotton and cockleburrs and Democrats. And for all the eloquence, neither convinces nor satisfies me. I'm from Missouri. You've got to show me. I worked almost right next to the World War One memorial in Kansas City, Missouri, for 5.5 years, working hospital security at Trinity Lutheran Hospital. Actually, right next to the World War One memorial in Kansas City, Missouri, was St. Mary's Hospital. Now, here on Wikipedia, it says the National World War One Memorial, Washington, D.C. The National World War One Memorial is a national memorial commemorating the service rendered by members of the United States Armed Forces in World War One. The 2015 National Defense Authorization Act authorized the World War I Centennial Commission to build the memorial in Pershing Park, located at 14th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue in northwest Washington, D.C. The park, which has existed since 1981, also contains the John J. Pershing General of the Army's commemorative work. In January 2016, the Design Commission selected the submission, The Weight of Sacrifice, by a team consisting of Joseph Weishar, Sabin Howard, no relation, Phoebe Lickwar, and GWWO Architects as a winning design, which is expected to be completed by 2024. On April 16th of 2021, the flag was raised at the memorial and President Biden spoke at a virtual ceremony opening to the public. the National World War I Memorial. In 1931, the people of the District of Columbia erected the District of Columbia War. Let's see where I dropped. I'd say I looked over to see if the camera was lit up. In 1931, the people of the District of Columbia erected the District of Columbia War Memorial on the National Mall to honor individuals from the district who had served in the U.S. Armed Forces in World War I. But the largest of the country's World War I memorials was the Liberty Memorial, a 217-foot, that's 66 meters, tall tower with an artificial burning pry atop it, located in Kansas City, Missouri. A memorial court surrounds the tower with a memory hall dedicated to the memory of Kansas Cityans who died in the war. On the east, and a museum building on the west. Ground was broken on the memorial on November 1st of 1921, and it opened on November 11th, 1926. But no national memorial commemorating World War I was erected over the next 70 years, which upset World War I veterans. The Liberty Memorial suffered from neglect over years, that's true, and the tower was closed to the public in 1994. A $102 million renovation and expansion effort began in 2000, and the memorial reopened in 2002. The expansion, which added 30,000 square feet in museum space and a 20,000 square foot research center, a theater, a cafeteria, and modern storage for the museum's extensive collection, opened in 2006. I'll put the links to this. Of course, I'm teasing a little bit, you know. I mean, there definitely should be a proper memorial for, you know, World War I veterans and the World War I conflict. And of course it should be in, you know, Washington, D.C. That's where people, you know, that's our national capital, and that's where people go, millions, I guess. I went there for 2 weeks. And I did go to the one in Kansas City, you know, the Kansas City, Missouri, quite a few times. I looked at their, you know, their exhibits, and, you know, they weren't, you know, they weren't up to the standard that they should be, so. I think Washington, D.C., though, is going to run out of, I'll put links to, you know, put links to all this. I think they're going to run out of room with, because I was in Washington, D.C., I went there to visit with my grown daughter and her husband, and I really couldn't manage for, you know, 2 weeks, but every other day we went out for about 3.5 hours. Wait, I don't think we said it. It was just 3.5 hours is about all I could take. At the Lincoln Memorial at that time, there are, by the way, videos here on YouTube on my site of my little vacation there in Washington, D.C. But 3.5 hours every other day was about all I could, you know, all I could manage. And I wish I could do that, you know. I couldn't go out now for probably, I couldn't, I have trouble making it to the mailbox and back, so. But like I said, I was kidding. Thank God They finally erected a, or they are erecting a proper memorial for World War One and for the veterans and other people who served. And you know, like I said, I will. This is, the Kansas City Memorial, the Kansas City, Missouri. I do not believe I ever went up to the top. I might have, because it's been a long time. But down here they had a area where they had, weapons, World War One, weapons and things like that. But apparently they improved it a great deal since I left. But anyway, just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Hang on here a second. Let's see. As you can see, I moved my camera. This is the Brio camera. I think that's a good view, and I could lay some stuff out, on the desk and do all kinds of things. Then there's another view, and that's from the Logitech C920, I believe E, and it's located on the monitor, on the monitor. So I might, I don't like, there's not a problem, maybe I don't like the bed being there. I want it to look a little more professional, but I see a lot of, people who make YouTube, videos that do a fantastic job, and sometimes you see a bed in the background or something like that. But I would like to, maybe I could rearrange things a little bit. Anyway, please give a thumbs up. Maybe when they get I'm 80 years old, by the way, and I can't make it to the trash for taking our trash out is much closer than the mailbox, the apartment mailbox. I'm lucky to be able to make it to the trash container and where they pick up the trash and back. So I think it's a good thing that I made it to Washington, D.C. a few years ago. But who knows? Maybe I will make it someday back to Washington, D.C. and see the World War I memorial. I don't have any, I took a lot of pictures, but all my life in grade school I started taking pictures. I have always been interested in photography, but I don't have any pictures of me being at the World War I memorial in Kansas City, Missouri. I worked a lot of different jobs. Worked for the mafia a couple times. Actually, I don't think they were mafia, but I don't think I was working for I was working for one of their legitimate businesses, I guess. But I wish I had I don't think I have any pictures of me. I don't have any pictures of me when I was building railroad cars, coal haulers mostly. I don't have any pictures of me when I worked at the post office. I don't know if they would approve of, well, now with cell phones, but well, I had a lot of jobs. My wife and I had a tropical fish shop for 4 years. There's one picture of her standing by the tanks, fish tanks, when we first opened up. And there's, I think, a picture of me holding my oldest daughter, LaDonna, when I was going around to having, well, I would, in the mornings, I would carry her and she would turn on the lights on the tanks, and she'd flip the sign over that said we were open. And then at night, quite often, I would carry her around and she would do the, flip the close sign over. I think that's the only pictures of that. I had a patrol service for about a year, security patrol service. There isn't any picture of the patrol car. I think there's only one picture, and I think that's not a good, I mean, it's, me in uniform, standing in my mother's living room. I think that's, now the first hospital I worked at, St. Joseph Hospital, I worked security. There's one picture, you probably may have seen that, because that's 1972 or so, of me in uniform out in a parking lot, and no other pictures of me. And then, let's see, the next hospital I worked at, well, was Trinity Lutheran Hospital. I don't think there's any, I worked there 5.5 years. I don't think there's any pictures of me in uniform or anything. Might be a picture of me in uniform, at home, getting ready to go to work or coming home or something. And then, anyway, just wish I had more pictures. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Okay. Oh, it's already on here, so there we go.